Hello and welcome to the Justice Factor, coming to you live from our studios in Hyde Park, Johannesburg. Coming up today with our two guest political analysts, was President Jacob Zuma's cabinet reshuffle just a purge? And which premiers will follow Castle Matale? Does Julius Malema's new party have a chance in the 2014 elections? Plus, what does the sacking of Oupa Magashule, the tax commissioner, say about accountability in South Africa? After that, we ask COSATU Secretary General Zwelinzima Vavi why he believes someone is out to kill him. In the final segment of the show, we will, as usual, give you our winner and loser of the week. But first, I'm joined by two political analysts, Professor Tinyiko Maluleke from the University of Johannesburg and independent analyst David Monyae to discuss the big stories of the week ahead. Gentlemen, welcome. Let me start with you. Is this, after Castle Matale, is this a purge, or is this, President Zuma doing good things for governance?
I think if you look at it, all ministers serve at the prerogative of the president. And in his own calculation, facing elections in 10 months, I think he came up to a conclusion that he have to let go certain ministers for a number of reasons.
But let's look at Castle Matale, Professor Maluleke. Castle Matale oversaw the non-delivery of textbooks. Virtually his whole province was taken over by the Minister of Finance. Surely he should have been fired a long time ago.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think the surprising thing is how long it has taken. Of course, he must take responsibility, but I think the ANC must also take responsibility, as you rightly say. He oversaw it, but he was doing it under the watch of the ANC.
Let me come back to Castle Matale. He was also deeply intertwined with Julius Malema, with the so-called Forces for Change in the run-up to Mangaung. Did he play a part?
I think when you look at it, it is quite complicated given the fact that he is support base. And therefore, I think to take him out, the ANC had to go through a long process. And given what has been happening before in the party, post-Mangaung, I think it was a wise move to nudge him towards resigning on his own, and of which he has done. He has saved the party. One doesn't know what happened behind closed doors, but...
Gentlemen, I want you to help me. I've been watching this thing since last Tuesday. President Zuma calls a press conference, announces this reshuffle. Tokyo Sehwale, Richard Baloyi, Dinapule. Very... what's going on here, Professor Maluleke? I don't understand what message is he sending. Was it competence, Dinapule, or was it on Richard Baloyi? Was it crime or the scandals around Dinapule? What is the theme of this reshuffle?
I think it's a mix of things. I think all of the things you have mentioned, non-performance is probably a factor. I mean, none of the three are star performers necessarily in very crucial and critical portfolios. I mean, communication, ICT, we can't say we are in the 21st century until we really do some serious stuff around ICT as a country. Transport, the legacies of apartheid, your e-tolls, your challenges of spatial arrangements and so on, settlement, human settlement and housing. So I think that he wants some game-changing activities inside those portfolios. But
David Monyae is agreeing with you. I see. He says, on the other hand, the Minister of Education states, Tina Jumaat-Petersen states, and she's had the public protector saying she treats the public purse as her own bag.
I think the major issue for the president at the moment is a challenge of going back to 2009 ANC manifesto. Let us not forget the developmental state, to go back to those kind of narratives and ensure that he prepares the ground for the elections. Of course, you have to get rid of certain people. That's part of politics. But given the fact that he has to put a machinery to run the elections, he has to deal with those core issues, priority at a policy level. In terms of housing, some of the issues that the professor has mentioned are quite critical, and therefore to demonstrate to electorates, I'm serious about what I promised in 2009, and as a governing party, we are moving in, and therefore he still has room.
Professor Maluleke, David is saying he did well, he's on the right path. Did he?
Well, He did well in removing the ministers that he has removed. I'm not so sure that he has necessarily replaced them with better ministers. I mean, these portfolios have really not performed for a long time, actually, even beyond his term as president. So it seems to me that the ANC will have to think hard about what to do with these portfolios for a country where the fault lines of development actually reflect in these portfolios.
All this happens as there's a whole lot of movement around the ANC. There's the Tlokwe municipality, but Julius Malema has come up. He's launched the EFF. What are his chances of digging into ANC support, David?
I think the starting point is that the ANC is going to win. There's no doubt about that. However, the bigger question is what these mushrooming parties, from Ahang to now the Malema and others that might come out, to what extent are they going to upset ANC hegemony? That's the big question that we have to look at. Will ANC gain more votes as it does? Since 1994, with each election it has been gaining votes. But with 2014, we're not very sure whether it's going to go beyond the ceiling that it has set, given all what is happening. So this is the challenge.
The local elections was 62%. I'm going to put you on the spot. Is the ANC going to go below 60% in this election?
Well, the trend has been downwards by a small margin. They have been losing over the past elections. I don't see that trend changing personally, even if they continue to lose. What the EFF has going for them is the youth target. They're targeting the youth, obviously. The second thing is that the issues they raise are real. The solutions may not be real, but they are raising real issues.
I want to ask you about the people raising these issues. Kenny Kunene, a former convicted criminal and now claiming to be a man of the people, all clean government and all the Julius Malema, all the properties taken from him. Now he's the champion of the poor. Isn't there some hypocrisy here, and will it be exposed, or doesn't that matter in our politics?
I think it is to do with the real issues out there on overland, over the mining with Marikana in mind. And therefore, I think issues that they're raising might resonate with quite a number of people on the ground, particularly the youth unemployed, and quite a number of people within your Pan-African kind of politics might get a sense of what is saying. How it is portrayed, who portrays the kind of politics becomes something else.
Opamagashula fired or resigned, an announcement made by the finance minister on Friday. Is this a good thing, Professor Maluleke?
I think it is a good thing, but as we were talking about Matale earlier, the problem with these arranged resignations is that while they are good, they also contain in them some kind of a deal that serves both sides. You don't lose your name. You might go find another job. We get our integrity. That's the thing that is worrisome.
But at least he acted 3 months and then the man's out.
No, certainly it's a good move. The question is, why don't we get more of these kinds of things happening across the portfolios? Not only at the level of Magashule, but also slightly higher, even at the political level.
You're talking about the minister. Gentlemen, that's all we have time for. David Monyae, Professor Maluleke, thanks so much for your time. After the break, we ask Zwelinzima Vavi who exactly wants to kill him.